Hey, you! If my voice is echoing in your ears right now, then I need you to stop everything you are doing. Do not keep scrolling. Do not take your eyes off the screen. And absolutely do not assume this is just another random video drifting across your feed in the noise of New York City. The universe does not operate on the soulless algorithms of social media. It operates on divine appointments that were set long before you were born. And this is your appointment. Listen very carefully, because every word I am about to speak carries the weight of a destiny that is shifting. God has just released a declaration in the spiritual realm concerning your life. He spoke only one word: tomorrow. But this is not a distant promise. It is a command that runs directly against the logic screaming inside your mind. He said, "Tell my chosen one to start packing right now." He did not say, "Start praying." He did not say, "Sit down and plan everything out." He said, "Grab the suitcase and begin packing." Right now. Have you felt it over the past 72 hours? That unnamed restlessness, that pressure quietly burning in your chest. You suddenly feel the urge to clean your apartment in Manhattan, to throw things away, to distance yourself from people you used to tolerate. You told yourself it was anxiety, that it was just stress from work, that maybe your mood was unstable. But you were wrong. That is not anxiety. That is the spirit of separation colliding with the atmosphere around you. God is preparing to move you physically, spiritually, and financially at a speed so fast that if you do not pack before the first sunlight hits those skyscrapers tomorrow morning, you will be left behind in a chapter of your life that has already expired. I will give you the extraction protocol for this transition. I will tell you exactly what to take and what must be thrown into the fire. But you must synchronize with this timeline immediately. If you feel the pull I just described, signal heaven by subscribing and locking yourself into this flow. And leave a declaration below that you are ready. Do not receive this passively, because we need to confront a system error you have been experiencing. You know exactly what I am talking about. Do not you? That strange feeling of walking through your own life while everything feels unfamiliar. You wake up in your Brooklyn apartment. You stare at the ceiling, and for a split second, you forget where you are. You walk into the kitchen where you have made coffee every morning for 5 years, but the air feels thin. It carries the scent of a distant land. You are not crazy. You are standing at the intersection of two timelines. In the spiritual realm, the move has already happened. God has relocated your spirit into tomorrow, but your physical body is still dragging itself through today. That tension, that vibration in your chest that feels like thousands of butterflies colliding, that is the friction of your soul pulling your body into a new season. Your soul already moved out. Your body is the only thing still paying rent in the old season. And because of this misalignment, there are 3 clear signs of a spiritual eviction happening right now. I call them summons from the universe. Think back to the last time you stood in your living room and suddenly everything looked old. Not dusty, depleted. You noticed a crack in the wall you never saw before. You looked at the clutter and felt a surge of anger. You stood there with your car keys in your hand, staring at what used to be your home, and it suddenly felt like a prison cell. You felt the walls closing in, the ceiling dropping lower, and an overwhelming urge to either run out the door or grab a massive trash bag and throw everything away. That is not you becoming messy or irritable. That is your spiritual sight activating. When God prepares to move you, He makes your current nest uncomfortable. He dismantles your comfort zone so you will not be tempted to stay. If you love the cage, you will never fly. So He makes the cage look ugly. But the crack in the wall is only the beginning, because the second sign cuts much deeper. It attacks your relationships. It creates social static that becomes unbearable. And this is where you must understand why packing is not optional. Look at me. This second sign will hurt. It is not about walls anymore. It hits your heart. I call it social interference. It happens when you are sitting across from someone you have known for decades, maybe at a high-end restaurant in Chicago or a crowded bar in Los Angeles. It could be a college friend, a family member, a trusted coworker. They are talking the same small talk, movies, stocks, weather, gossip. Normally, you would smile. You would engage. You would laugh. But not this time. Suddenly, their voice sounds like static from a broken radio, as if they are speaking from the end of a 5-mile tunnel. You watch their mouth move and think, why does this conversation feel so heavy? Why does every word drain the life out of me? You check your iPhone, looking for an excuse to leave, craving open space. And when you finally sit in your car and shut the door, the silence feels like medicine. You feel guilty. You tell yourself you are becoming cold or arrogant. Stop that thought. You are not arrogant. You are misaligned. Your frequency has been upgraded. They chose to remain where they are. You are tuning into tomorrow. They are still broadcasting yesterday. The static you hear is the sound of a severed connection. The universe is cutting soul ties. Because where you are going, you cannot carry dead weight. But be careful, because immediately after the social fracture, a more violent reaction appears. I call it sudden disgust. This is no longer emotional. It reaches your nervous system. You wake up. You open your closet, filled with expensive designer clothes you once dreamed of owning. And suddenly you hate them. You turn on Netflix to watch your favorite show. You feel nauseous. You walk into your usual steakhouse. You smell the smoke, and your appetite disappears instantly. It feels like a spiritual gag reflex. Why is this happening? Because God is making you allergic to Egypt. If you still crave the food of the old season, you will turn back the moment the desert wind hits your face. So He turns yesterday's flavors into ash in your mouth. So the only thing you hunger for is the milk and honey of tomorrow. Do not pray for comfort. He will not answer that prayer. He is the one creating the discomfort. He is converting disgust into propulsion. Now you have the evidence. The restlessness, the pressure in your chest, the aversion to the past. You know you are being evicted from this season. You know you must pack. But listen carefully. This is where most chosen ones fail. You think packing means moving apartments, deleting old photos, blocking an ex. That is surface level. There is a lethal trap waiting. False packing. You move your physical body to a new state, but secretly hide an old spiritual virus in your suitcase. If you miss what I am about to say, tomorrow becomes a corrupted copy of yesterday. You escape one prison only to build a more sophisticated one. Have you heard the story of Lot's wife? When the angels pulled them out of Sodom, the command was simple: run and do not look back. She looked back. Instantly she turned into a pillar of salt. This was not punishment for curiosity. In ancient Hebrew, looking back meant longing, attachment. Her body ran forward. Her heart stayed behind. So she crystallized. Salt preserves. It freezes things in time. If you cling to old pain, the universe will give you exactly what you want. You become a monument to your trauma. So, how do you avoid petrification while standing in a luxury apartment in San Francisco or a suburban home in Texas? I give you the framework called the 3 extraction boxes. Close your eyes. Imagine standing in the center of your soul, a vast room filled with everything you have accumulated over decades. On the floor sit 3 boxes. The first box is red, labeled Burn Box. This is for toxic things, dead things. They cannot be recycled. They cannot be repaired. They must be destroyed. Put into it the bitterness toward those who abandoned you 10 years ago. Put into it the shame of mistakes you made when you were younger. Put into it the phone number of anyone who only contacts you to use you. Many of you try to store these things. You think you can hide anger in a drawer. You think you can keep a toxic relationship on a shelf just in case. No. You cannot store fire in a paper bag. If you keep it, it will burn down your new house. When you close the red box, you are not saying goodbye. You are lighting a match. Ash cannot be rebuilt. That is freedom. The second box is gray, the archive box. This one is the hardest, because these things are not bad. They are good things that expired. Past glory. Seasonal relationships. You cannot wear your high school varsity jacket into a Wall Street boardroom. It was great. It mattered. But now it looks ridiculous. Many of you bring old survival instincts into new abundance. That is not wisdom. That is paranoia. Thank those memories. Honor them. Then store them. Let history stay history. And now the final box. The most important one. The small gold box. The carry-on. The rules here are strict. Only items stamped by the universe for tomorrow are allowed. Most of you try to bring comfort, validation, reputation, backup plans. But the flight has a weight limit. You cannot ascend while overloaded. Only faith, core wisdom, specific future commitments. Everything else is contraband. If you sneak control or ego through security, the alarm will sound. God is emptying your pockets because the climb ahead is steep. You cannot climb Everest carrying a couch. Now you are packed. You feel lighter. But as your hand reaches for the door, time freezes. A chill runs down your spine. A familiar voice rises in your mind. Not an enemy. Something more dangerous. Wisdom disguised as fear. You look at the clock. You ask yourself when this will happen. Tuesday. Next week? Stop. The tomorrow I am talking about is not a date. It is a dimension. In Hebrew, tomorrow refers to a prepared reality. Your blessing is broadcasting on frequency 101.5. Your mind is still scanning 88.5, full of static. The problem is not that God has not sent it. The problem is that your receiver is not tuned. To teleport there, You must complete the final 3 steps of the transfer protocol. First, language embargo. For the next 24 hours, you are forbidden to speak about what is wrong. You cannot sing a victory song while using the vocabulary of a victim. If you cannot speak faith, choose silence. Silence incubates miracles. Second, vision anchoring. You must live in the new house mentally before stepping into it physically. Close your eyes in the middle of your current chaos. Feel the wooden floors of the new office beneath your feet. Smell the air of freedom. Do not watch it like a movie. Step inside it. Third, launch command. Stand up. If you are in a safe place, stand right now. Place your right hand over your heart. This is the posture of a soldier receiving orders. We are no longer begging. We are authorizing extraction. I declare that your timeline has shifted. The wounds of the past have been incinerated in the red box. The old victories have been archived in peace. The faith in your gold box is under divine protection. Survival mode has ended. Governance season has begun. Within the next 40 hours, a physical confirmation will appear. A phone call, a financial release, or an unexplainable peace. You have exited the war zone. You are no longer running. You are chosen. You are walking into a land of streams and honey. Do not look back. Go. Tomorrow belongs to you. Now, as silence fills the space, take a deep breath. The weight you carried, the backpack filled with other people's expectations, guilt, past failures. It has fallen to the floor. You feel lighter. You are aerodynamic now. You are ready to lift off. This is not about packing luggage or changing cities. This is about identity, sovereignty. You are chosen. The cost of being chosen is temporary isolation for eternal impact. The lesson is simple. You cannot enter a new chapter while rereading old ones. The universe never removes without replacing. But your hands must be empty to receive. Do not fear emptiness. Do not fear silence. That is the space where miracles form. You are not losing everything. You are being refined into your highest version. I believe in you. The universe believes in you. Now you must believe in yourself. If this message strengthened your journey, let me know. Comment 1 if you are ready for tomorrow. Comment 0 if this did not resonate, so I can improve. Or share your perspective. I am here to listen. Subscribe and turn on notifications. That is how this mission continues. Thank you for staying until this moment. I will see you in the promised land.